That looks good. All right, we're live. We're recording. We all sound great, look great. Jenny, are you ready?
Yes.
This is very conversational, laid back. Pam, Mick, don't be freaking out. This isn't Joe Rogan. And then we'll just have a good old conversation, okay? All right, Jenny, here comes the intro. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. What's happening, all you millions of listeners out there in podcast? You guys are making me laugh.
Start again.
I know. 2.0.
2.0. Yeah. Andy 2.0.
What's happening, all you millions of listeners out there in podcast land? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. You know it, you love it, you gotta download it. You can find us on all your major podcatchers. That's StreamYard, that's Buzzsprout, iTunes, YouTube, whatever Google device uses. You can find us anywhere. Do you know that, Jenny?
Yes.
We are everywhere.
Everywhere.
We're probably famous.
I don't think probably.
Yeah,
we are.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I love, Jenny?
What?
I love me some high-speed fiber internet. That's right, folks. The Grow Clinton podcast is brought to you by Miles Communications, hooking us up with wicked fast high-speed internet right here in our own backyard, located in a small town, Miles, Iowa. Awesome little town.
Lovely.
Lovely. And I love the Miles folks. Great co-op again. High fast fiber internet, also offering television and telephone services. MilesTelephone.com. Again, MilesTelephone.com. Great show today, Jenny.
I think so too. We've had such a busy day.
We have had a busy day. We just left a great meeting with one of our investors.
I had one earlier this morning,
You
too.
did. We talked about the benefits of membership in Grow Clinton. For those of you that are not aware, we are 100% investor driven. We don't generate revenue outside of membership investment. So we aim to please.
Yes,
This is the one-stop shop. We solve problems, everything from potholes to major expansions. We're the group to call Grow Clinton. So, Jenny, we have Morrison Community Hospital in the hizzy today.
Did you hear an explosion? I mean, because that's where that place is going.
Boom. I don't know if they want to talk about explosions, but let's talk about expansion.
Did you hear about? Did you hear an expansion?
Yeah, did you hear about the expansion? We have CEO, is it President and CEO?
CEO.
Pam Pfister with us. Did I say that correctly?
You did.
Nice. And Mick Welding, who's the marketing director. Mick, you've been with the hospital for a long time, bud.
Hey, we're launching into that lucky 13.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I first met you, were you big brothers, big sisters back then?
Yeah.
That's
actually
great.
working with the chamber back then. And, well, Julie was like a mother to me. And as Jenny might know.
Yeah.
And Marcia Smith.
Oh boy.
Just got along with those two gals.
Troublemakers. You can still find them in the police blotter every once in a while if you look. They're out there causing havoc
All
around
the time.
Clinton.
I ran into Marcia bringing Julie to an appointment here one time, and I thought, oh my gosh,
You want to hear a funny story about Julie?
Yeah.
Okay, so she retired. She moved to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
She's, you think she's out of loop. I look at that home rule charter meeting the other day on the news. There she is.
Yeah, she's not messing around.
No,
I know.
She's at it again.
So, Pam, tell us a little bit about everything that's happening over at Morrison Community Hospital, home of the Phillies and the Mustangs.
Yes,
I love
Right.
'em.
Go Phillies.
You got
go
a ton
Mustangs.
of stuff
Yep.
going on out there.
we
Every
sure
time I
do.
drive past, I see more construction. What's happening out there?
So we just concluded a big project in 2021, and I think we love projects, right? So we have outgrown our clinical space with the addition of Dr. Troutman. He's a young man from the community, just finished his residency, so he joined our team actually just a couple weeks ago.
What's his specialty?
Family practice.
Family practice.
Yeah,
Oh,
family
great.
Practice, yes.
Okay.
And last year we took over the Genesis Clinic there in Morrison on East Route 30 and knew that we had outgrown our space. So Dr. Woods, actually, his last day with us is Thursday of this week.
Oh,
so
my
that's a big
goodness.
milestone. I want to give a shout out to him. 39 years of practicing family medicine.
My
In
goodness.
fact, I went over this morning. Every day we're doing a little special event for him to say hello. And I said, 39 years. Do you ever hear that? And he said, No, quite honestly, you don't, because he started his practice in Morrison and is retiring his practice in Morrison.
Wow.
So once we get this addition finished, which will be done in May of 2026, we will move both Dr. Troutman and Ava, Dr. Woods' PA, over to our clinic environment.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
cool.
And it's just shy of 12,000 square feet. So that's just the first floor. And we will move our primary care and our walk-in clinic into the new addition. And the specialist will maintain their practices in the current footprint, which just so happens to be about 12,000 square feet as well.
Wow. Double size.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, very cool.
So the second story happens to be a blank slate. Now it's highly probable we will start another project, finishing that out next year. And that will be for outpatient hospital services. So we'll move our wound care over there. We have a wonderful wound care program. We'll move our infusion services over there as well. We'll add a couple private rooms to med-surg because we still have a hallway that's semi-private right now. And then 2 additional ORs. So very pleased with the growth. And again, projects can be a lot to oversee. But, our staff does a really good job about embracing the changes. And speaking about boom with projects, I have to comment that the earth does move when you do any projects there. And we always laugh amongst ourselves and say, oh, don't you just love that sound? That's hear the earth move. That's
Sound of
growth, right?
progress.
That's
Yeah.
growth,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now I visited that hospital for the first time in 2005. I was still in the military. I was active duty. I was stationed in New Mexico, but I was here at the time for my wedding. And you guys have come a long way.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
We certainly have.
It wasn't bad, but it was older.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
older infrastructure. It was kind of an older feeling to the hospital itself. But man, what a change now when you walk in there. Mick, you're in charge of marketing that bad boy. I mean, you have a whole plethora of services available at Morrison Community Hospital. How do you focus on getting the message out there, and what do you want our listeners to know?
I remember one of the first times I went to I was exposed to the Morrison Hospital. I was at Big Brothers Big Sisters, and Pam and some other people came over and presented to Rotary a weight loss program. And
I remember.
And so I thought, well, carrying a few extra around, I dove in. So I went over there and I had my physical done by the doctor that was there. And shortly after that, I accepted a job there, and then I had the physical done by the same doctor, and then she quit.
Oh,
and
great.
I thought, was it that bad?
I've never seen anything like this.
I didn't know if she was
I'm
leaving the
done.
room to
I'm
go call
done.
Bosma Funeral Home. I didn't know, and so when you start with a blank slate, you have one nurse practitioner on staff seeing patients. And you had a couple of docs coming over from Clinton, doing some services. The only way you could really go is up.
Yes.
And so we were just fortunate that I remember I was sitting in Pam's office, which is not even close to where it is now because of all of the renovations. And I remember the first time she held up a resume from Dr. Guarvi, and she was in Boston finishing up a residency, and she just wanted to move close to Chicago, but not in the city. And she picked Morrison of all places.
Perfect
and
spot for that.
They bought a condo, her and her husband. They raised 2 kids there. And the neat thing about it is her specialty was endocrinology, and you tend to have a little bit of diabetes in the area, and so she kind of hit a sweet spot.
Yeah.
And so we thought, okay, now we have a specialist. So guess who got on all the billboards and
Yeah,
advertising?
right.
It was her. And then shortly after that, we had 3 doctors that decided to all come together from another hospital, and they joined us, and they were all in family practice. And so it was just really neat to see that all of a sudden you could put a little more meat to the things
Right.
you were doing. As the newsletters got a little bit more robust than they used to be. We went from 1 page to 3 or 4. And so we would send out information about some of the specialties we offer. And then we had an opportunity to have a few other doctors also choose to come to our hospital. Dr. Yeager came shortly after that. We got a lot of docs with about 10, 11 years of experience, and that's what you like to see.
Yeah, that's probably the sweet spot.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, they come and they like it and they stay, because I don't know that that's all that common.
So what you're saying is you started off when you got there with visiting doctors and one nurse practitioner, and now how many providers do you have now? All together with nurse practitioners, doctors.
I believe we have 16.
Wow.
Yeah,
16,
it's
yeah.
impressive.
That is
So it's a
impressive.
combination of family practice, right, and
Right.
specialist.
Jeez.
And the thing about it is that we say this often is we spend a lot of time building our culture. So we started off with primary care, built that because in theory, primary care refers to your specialist.
Right.
Now, what's interesting is I would say the reverse is probably happening now, where a lot of my specialists are referring to my primary care because often individuals come in to see the specialist and then the dialogue occurs and we discover they don't have primary care. So now they're referring to the primary care. But primary care, definitely a shortage here in rural America for sure. And some of the specialists like endocrinology that mentioned, the wait list for some of these specialists are months out.
Yeah.
Endocrinology is one, rheumatology is another.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is those who have practiced 10, 12, 15 years prior to coming on board is they've had a lot of experience and they're high quality. So that combination together just really brings a patient in. And then when people have a good experience, they communicate to one another. I mean, we spend a lot of time talking about marketing strategies. Where do you invest your dollars?
You guys do a great job capturing testimonials on your website. Again, we're talking to Pam and Mick from Morrison Community Hospital. You can find them online at morrisonhospital.com. Tons of information on there. But again, I love the patient testimonials, and no matter what provider you are or what hospital you are, patient care is always number one. But the fact that you guys are really focusing on the culture within the hospital itself, I believe is a very close number two, because unless you have providers that like where they're working, I mean, that changes the dynamic of their whole practice.
Really does.
If they don't want to be there, they're going to come in every day grumpy, meaning they're going to be distracted, meaning they're not going to be able to engage their patients at the highest level they would like to. And it's just a ripple effect. So
is.
having that cultural, and I've heard nothing but good things,
Right.
by the way. Everybody that goes there
Thank
comes
you.
back
Yeah,
and says
thank you for that.
how far you've come over the years, how great the expansions of the new construction look, and also the amazing experience they had with their provider.
And here's the thing too. I mean, the option for these providers, they can take what they do anywhere.
Right.
So the idea of making the culture, that's brilliant. I mean, it's a great way to approach all of that.
Yeah. And I have to give them credit as well because they're responsible for building their teams and making sure that they are able to retain those teams and have good patient experiences. So, it's not just a leadership direction with culture. It's everyone that's on your team, right? And the surgeons have a lot of impact on that, as well as your primary care. I mean, any provider you see, the person who you meet at the front desk. I mean, it's
it all
a
matters.
constant work in progress for sure.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's great. Thank you so much for joining us on this podcast. Mick, I see the billboards everywhere.
Yes.
You have to have stock in Lamar, I
We're
think.
critiquing billboards
There's
on the
one
way
right
over.
outside of our office here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you guys continuing to recruit providers? Are you looking to fill any positions? Or are you fully staffed?
I would like to see an enhancement to our general surgery practice. GI is an area that we like to see some expansion on. Another area would be cardiology. Like to see some expansion of that as well. But first and foremost, we have to complete this project, get everyone well positioned in their new space before we make any decisions moving forward. Having said that, anyone who watches the news knows that there's been some updates from the federal government. So we just take a pause and sit back and see how things unfold. and then we'll make decisions probably in the next 12 months or so.
And that's that strategy. I mean, you really have to, like
Yeah.
you're saying, for people who are right on the front lines of a huge expansion and all of this change, you're very calm. And it seems like you work really well together, and that's so important.
Yeah, I saw Mick. He popped 10 melatonin before he came.
What?
No, so Pam and Mick, what is the ownership makeup of Morrison Community Hospital? What does that look like?
So we are a district hospital, which means we are supported by tax dollars from the community, Linden community, as well as the Fenton community is part of that taxing district. And then we have a 9-member board member team.
Okay.
So they oversee all of the operations, and meaning we're supported by the tax dollars. So there is some onus there in making sure that we make our decisions in the best interest of the taxing district as well.
Sure, that fiduciary responsibility.
That's right.
Mick, you have a pretty aggressive foundation as well. I see you sit on as the co-treasurer. Talk to us about the foundation, what work they do, and when are your big fundraising events?
I remember here about 5 years ago when we were breaking ground in September 11th of 2019 for our last expansion. Our foundation made a commitment to give $1.5 million to the hospital for the growth. And well, then you had that nasty little thing called COVID. That hit.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yikes.
and so you could no longer go into anybody's home and visit with them, and and it was tough. We had people making donations. And we thought, well, we're going to do this over 5 years, and everybody had to sign a document. Not like you were going to have to make up the difference, but we never would have anybody do this. But we ended up. It came within about 2 weeks before that 5 year was up, and one of our former doctors who delivered probably the majority of Morrison residents, and his dad delivered the other half, and so he passed away and made a very generous donation that had allowed us to go over that number, that 1.5, and now it's kind of neat to see the foundation, the team coming together, thinking of ideas that we can also have. We've been doing this beer and wine tasting thing over at Eagle Point Lodge for the past probably 4 or 5 years. Before that, knowing Mike Rastrelli as well as I did, we were doing events at Rastrelli's, and we started this prom through the decades, and we started with the 50s, and of course, I had to get a hold of Jim, with Coupe de Ville.
Oh, yeah.
And so they did our first 2 or 3, and Pam's mom is just a big fan of the 50s music.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This just rang her bell right there. So Coupe de Ville did their first 50s, 60s. We kind of even moved into the 70s, and then we kind of did prom through the decades. We did we did that theme. Well, then we outgrew the Rastrelli's, and we had to go. Eagle Point is just a beautiful facility. The Rotary Club helped, which I was part of, helped make some renovations to that. So, and we've been selling that out the last 3 years.
Yeah, you have to get your reservation in there. Yeah.
And it's really, we really just say, let's just go there and gather together, come up with a theme. My cousin, Matt Wedling, happens to own the Green Tree Brewery in LeClaire.
Okay.
So
I did not know that.
Yes.
you won't find many Weldings around here. But
Yeah.
But if you do, they're onto something.
it's
huh?
just-
Yeah.
Matt knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so we've had Matt come up, and he finds, whatever our theme is, like we did a Western theme.
Oh, cool.
And then this year we're going to do a sports theme.
Nice.
And having connections with some of the folks out at the Clinton Rec Department, with and connecting with them. We've already set the date of May 7th of next year. We're going to do this again, and we typically try to find different breweries or wineries. We Tycoga did a couple, Wide River did a couple. We like to support the local businesses that are into that market, and so they provide that. And we just tell everybody, you throw $50 in. Our caterers from out by Preston, Corner Stop, and so. We try to support some of the local businesses and what we do, and and then we just invite people to come and enjoy a night. We do some auction items, and no speeches. I think they just like maybe some background music and we kind of keep it low, and that's why I think we've been selling it out. But
Yeah. No, you did. What you guys do is perfect. We found that out. When we merged and became Grow Clinton, I had made a command decision to modify our annual meeting
Yes.
Yeah.
from death by PowerPoint and
I
speeches
remember. Yeah.
to Andy gives a quick 40-minute, if max.
Yeah.
That includes awards. That includes all of our successes for the year.
Great idea.
And then we just party the rest of the night.
That's
and
right.
sit back
Yeah.
and reflect on everything we've been able to accomplish. So, yeah, you can only go through so many rubber chicken dinners and lengthy PowerPoint presentations. Whoever designed that format, it was replicated a million times over and just needs to
Too
stop.
much. Too
People
much.
want to have fun. They want to relax.
They
They want
do.
to smile. They want to joke, high five, and really just sit there and revel in the success they had.
And
So,
you know that's working because tell me, you have to pull the plug on it, right? I mean, you have
do.
to ask
We
people
do.
to leave. We have
Yeah.
that problem too. So both of you, in all of this, I know it's going to be hard, but in the expansion, in the growth, all of that, what has been your favorite part? Silence. It's hard to think of that.
I would go ahead.
I have just there's some of those doctors that you just click with,
Yeah.
and the ones that like for example, Dr. Rob, urogynecology. I mean, that's you don't find that around very often, that specialty. And he came and he brought one nurse practitioner and a couple of nurses. Well, we've had to hire 2 more nurse practitioners with him, and another nurse or two, and that volume has just been growing so much, and it's just fun to, he's gone with us on some of our golf outings, not as many in the last couple of years, and Dr. Yeager, we golf with him. And so you get to know these guys outside the hospital setting. And like Dr. Fouad, I was telling Jenny that his daughter graduated, and we went down to the graduation party and just had a blast.
Yeah.
When you have he's married to a lady that's from Clinton, so from Abrish, so we figured there was a lot of Clinton people there at the party, and we just had fun. And so I think I like getting to know the staff and going to their events. They invite us to come to different things. Dr. Nikki and and she's the Morrison football team doctor.
Oh, okay.
And so she goes to the home games, and they've got a lot better care than they had prior to when Nikki came. The players and the people in the seats know that.
Yeah.
They know that you're investing back into the community.
That's the truth.
And they love that part. And Pam made that an emphasis. I remember when I interviewed with her, she said there was a lady that ran one of the gas stations, and her son passed away. And she says, I want to be one of the people who meet that need, that she has. And so we've kind of done that. What can we do to reach out to people that are going through some tough times? Above and beyond what a hospital can provide, this is what can a friend do,
Right.
and that's what we
Exactly.
love. I do.
Yeah, but you do have an amazing behavioral health service department
Yeah.
within Morrison Community Hospital. Just looking through here, you have some top-notch professionals that really focus on the overall well-being, mental health, brain health, everyone refer to it as. So, Michelle Blackmer is listed here. She must focus looking at her bio. I mean, she spends a lot of time working with women's mental health
She's amazing.
through labor and delivery. So it's great.
It's kind of a whole package then how you can, you get a holistic look at what people need, and then you have, all the care they need.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Good job to you and your entire team. What I like about your foundation is that all's locally controlled, correct?
It is.
You don't
It
need a
is.
stamp of approval from somebody above, right?
No.
It's just the foundation making those
That's
decisions,
correct.
which I respect that and I value that because you don't see that very much anymore, where you're able to make decisions locally
Right.
to, engage local patients and make sure that the whole concept of patient care is taken care of from start to finish right here in your own backyard.
So Pam, how long have you been?
I have been at the hospital for 23 years. Just will be celebrating my 23rd year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Mick,
you.
nobody cares about your 13.
What?
Come
Whatever.
back when you have 23.
You're low man on the totem pole.
So you've
Ask her
seen
how long
huge
she's been
changes.
CEO. Ask her
How long have you been the CEO?
12 years.
Okay.
A year after I came.
I see.
Yeah.
So you've seen.
I hired you.
She did.
And she can fire you
I'm
too,
very
Mick.
That's right. Take you in, take you out.
Talking welding. so-
Yeah. But
You
you've
quit
seen so
recording
much.
already.
I have. And the most memorable thing for me, I guess the aspect that I think is number one for me is having the opportunity to watch the growth for the community and the patients that come in. My most favorite moment is to, if you happen to be down in the front lobby, which if you're walking around the building, communicating with your team members, and then having that community member come in, may not be a community member. It could be someone from outside the community member, and really give recognition to the project or a provider they've seen, or just a great experience in general with someone on my team that they've had interaction with. So I think that's what's most important to me, is bringing back to the community and making sure that our patients are served well.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the town of Morrison's really come a long way too.
Really has.
It has.
My daughter dances at Jennifer's Dance Center. And which is sad because Jennifer's going to be leaving at the
She
end of this
is.
year, which
She
has
is,
really bummed my daughter
Darn
out.
it.
I know.
My
Yeah.
daughter's been there dancing since she was 4 or 5. I
Wow.
think she transitioned over there.
Wow.
And she's always wanted to do her. I mean, she said to me the other day, she said, because I asked her, like, where are you going to go after Jennifer leaves? And she's like, I don't know. And I said, well, do you want to continue to dance? She's like, I dance at Jennifer's because of Jennifer. She truly loves her, and she's really sad that she's going to be able to miss her, or she's going to miss her senior last performance. But we'll see. Hopefully, we can find somebody to take that over.
Yeah.
I
'cause
think
dance
that,
in
yes,
Morrison
that may be
is a
the
big
case,
thing.
Yes.
See, and this is what I like right here. You're CEO of the hospital, marketing. You guys are big wigs. Big wigs. You know what's going on in the community now.
Most often we do. Yes.
That is
Oh,
important.
gosh.
Yeah. No, I go there and I like to just walk up and down Monday nights, cheap tacos at Original Taco.
Oh,
There you
yeah,
go.
right.
That's a
that.
favorite for my staff.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm always like a quick 6 to 8 I order, so I have some to take home. But
Yeah.
very rarely do they make.
I was
them-
gonna say,
do they
come
make them all
on.
home.
They'd be
I love
gone.
Heroes Tap. I mean, that's cool.
Heroes
That's
is
like
great.
a veteran focused bar that's out there. Great stuff there.
Yeah.
Fat Boys is good. Double G is good.
Double
Then
G
we
is
have the
very
new
nice,
Urban
yeah.
Eats.
Yeah, the Urban
Yeah,
Eats,
they're
they're beautiful.
wow.
Great too. Yeah.
They just had the Paint the Town little festival
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
did there where everybody comes out and
Yeah.
it's funny. This is embarrassing, but also a funny story. First couple of years I was here, I always did Paint the Town. I lived in actually Morrison at the time, and
I didn't know that.
I was running that marketing firm, little boutique marketing firm, Bent Business Marketing,
That's
and
right.
I went out there and I was concentrating so hard on making sure that my logo for the marketing firm fit within the square that I was given, and the name fit. And I was so proud of myself. And I took a picture, and I was driving home, and I looked at the picture and realized I spelt business wrong.
Oh, no.
No kidding.
So I had to turn around, go back out, and ask them for some paint to try to black paint so I could fill it in. And
Oh, it happens to
that.
everybody.
Love that.
yeah, but I love that. It is a really cool little community. And actually, I just heard recently, it was in the Quad City Business Journal, so it's public. There's some discussion of the Illinois Department of Transportation working with the city of Morrison to
They are.
three-lane-
We're very excited about that.
three-lane the Highway 30.
Oh, hey.
Very excited.
So it'll be
Awesome.
one lane either direction and a dedicated turn lane, which
yep.
I think, I mean, of course, over on this side of the river, we've been lobbying forever for a 4-lane Highway 30
Yes.
just because of our connection to Cedar Rapids. But a 3-lane across the river is going to make it a lot easier. I know right there on Cherry Street, sometimes you have trucks that are trying to turn down that direction and they have to make a wide angle
Yep.
right turn and everything just shuts down. You cannot pass them.
Either
You can't
direction,
get around.
really.
Right.
Yeah, it's very difficult to navigate. So that should really enhance the speed, at least the thoroughfare through Highway 30 in Morrison.
Right.
Yeah, so it's great. You guys are doing an awesome job. Keep it up. I mean,
Thank you.
We do not here at Grow Clinton. We don't view the river as an impediment.
Nope.
Sometimes I understand dollars don't flow back and forth. Our good friend Daryl Hogue, a superintendent of
Oh,
Riverbend
yeah.
Schools, also a Morrison
He's from
resident.
Morrison, yep.
He's from Morrison.
Does a great job.
Yep, he loves what is it called? Brick Block Pub.
Oh, yeah.
That's his
Oh,
jam.
yeah.
I
Yeah, that's
see
a
him
fave
there.
by many,
I've seen
yes,
him there
for
a few
sure.
times.
But yeah, Daryl likes craft beers and stuff. But education dollars obviously don't flow back and forth
No.
between Illinois and Iowa, and sometimes we're jealous of his programming. He's jealous of some of the stuff we're doing. But as far as this organization goes, when we look at it through a very focused regional lens,
Right.
we include Morrison as part of our region. Fulton alike. I mean,
Friends.
if they succeed over here in Clinton, they benefit over in Morrison and Fulton. If Morrison and Fulton, that's something that's great. We benefit over here in Clinton. And then hopefully we get the bridge up and running again on the North Bridge, and Fulton
It'll
finishes
happen.
up there down.
Right.
What bad timing, though. I feel so bad. My heart
do
goes out
too.
to Fulton because bridge closure and then a major downtown reconstruction of your roadway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stinks.
Yeah, it does. Big. Ugh.
Those really competitive and marketing folks that are thinking outside the box, those retailers have done a good job of sustaining their business over this time. But yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I think,
that's tough.
The neat thing about the hospital as well is, I remember when I started, we probably had maybe just under 100 employees. And now when you click all, you want to send an email to everybody, it says this email is going to be sent to 324 people.
Yeesh.
And some of those folks live in Clinton,
Yeah.
you know, and I know, Andy, you're very astute with economic impact of a business in a community. And it's not only just Morrison people that are paying property taxes and putting gas in their car, and buying groceries, in Morrison, but they're also buying it over here in Clinton
You
and
bet.
in Fulton as well. And some patients from here, may not have a specialist in this area that addresses what they need, but we do.
Right.
And so we're there if they need us. And
Yeah, you got to look at medicine as a partnership. You really have to. If it's too competitive an environment and it's cutthroat, it only hurts the patients.
Right.
Right.
You got to be willing to say, we don't offer that. However, our partners across the river at Morrison
Right.
Community Hospital offer that.
And it's a partnership. That's
It is
true.
a partnership. And I understand sometimes, there's issues regarding, whether it's federal funding or state funding or different health care, that whether it's accepted here or not. I mean, how does that work for you guys from a insurance standpoint? I mean, is there anything that you do not accept? Blue Cross Blue Shield, I would assume, all the major carriers. Is that correct?
We do. I'm actually trying to think of a plan that we would not accept. There's a couple that we are in contract negotiations with now, but we try very hard to make sure we're in network with any carrier that we come across, because there's a lot of diversity in the plans right now. A lot of diversity in the plans right now.
Yes.
So it is a challenge to keep up with it, but I do feel for one reason or another, this particular employer might pick this network plan, but then you have all the individualized plans that people make various decisions on as well. So we do try to meet all the needs of the patients who do present. Once in a while, we get that surprise element and we work through that. But we try to make sure that we meet the needs of the patients.
That's business in and of itself. I mean, that's just a lot.
Also, last pitch here. If you're looking for a career opportunity, you can go to morrisonhospital.com/jobs. I see there's several here listed, some of which have acronyms that I do not know what they mean. But if you are looking for something in the line of medicine, they got tons of stuff.
We do.
Some of them actually offer sign-on bonuses.
Yeah.
That's nice. Mick, did you get a sign-on bonus 13 years ago? If you didn't,
I
it's
was a
been too
charity
long.
case.
It's been too long.
I said,
Yeah, you had to pay them.
I was excited. I only had to pay $500
His wife
for
might
them
be
to.
listening, right?
I only pay $500 to work there. So it was really kind of nice.
Oh, no, you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. Remember, if there's anything you need,
Right.
do not hesitate to pick up the phone and call us. I understand that Clinton's in our name, but the reason is a regional entity. And one of the main reasons Grow Clinton name was selected is from an economic development standpoint, and especially when you have businesses looking for a site, a new location, they focus on a region first.
Right.
And you usually select the larger, micropolitan for our case, and then you zoom in from there. And that's one of the things that we just wanted to kind of stand out as within the region as the largest community. And then we start to celebrate those communities around us.
We're all friends.
Yeah, we all are.
That's
friends.
right.
Yep. All right, folks. Mick, Pam, thank you so much for joining us.
very
on
welcome.
This episode.
Thanks for
This is
having
episode
us.
155, Jenny.
Oh, my goodness.
155.
We remember when we were looking at almost getting to 50?
Yeah, we thought that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're patting ourselves on the back.
No, we love it.
Yep.
Members love it. They love coming on. Again, this is
They love it.
archived, blasted out all over social media, and then it's available via Buzzsprout. It's on our website at growclinton.com. You can listen to it whenever you like. And yeah, we're continuing to grow. We
And
got some
don't-
ideas.
If you're a member, don't wait to be invited. You don't have to be invited. You can just
right.
get a hold of us and we'll get you in there.
Yep. Jenny's very good at scheduling them.
I
She's almost too good sometimes.
I
The one time I had to
And
call her
she
in.
worked really well with us, I can
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
We had some
Guaranteed.
scheduling conflicts.
Yeah.
gotta work on it.
Well, the one time I had to bring her into my office, I was like, Jenny, no more. I cannot do this many. My board's going to eventually ask me, what else do you do other than
else do you
record
guys
podcasts? So,
Podcasts are good.
answer that. But thanks. Speaking of my board, Scott Bodie is on our board. He's from Miles Communications.
That's
we want to
right.
thank him for all of his efforts. He was supposed to be here yesterday. I got to call that guy.
Hey, we got to talk about something
Man.
else. We're opening up 2 new spots for sponsors on our podcast.
Yeah,
too.
coming out soon. We'll be soliciting
Yep.
sponsorship for the Grow Clinton podcast. We have Miles Communications as one. We're looking for 2 additional because microphones aren't cheap, and I want to get some. I want to get some new mics, and of course, we're a nonprofit.
That's right.
Unless the staff's going to go digging through the couch cushions, we
Yeah.
got to figure something out.
There you
So you expect an email from me here in the coming weeks regarding that. All right, my name's Andy Sokolovich, President and CEO of Grow Clinton. That's Jenny Home. Until we talk to you guys again, stay classy. See ya. Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.